Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Jamin's Daily. We are continuing on our epic journey down the pathway to eating frogs. Okay? Eat that frog. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating and get more done in less time. And the last time I left you here, folks, we were completing chapter 4, where you had to consider the consequences of not eating the frog. What happens if you don't eat the frog? You get warts. That's what happens, okay? You get warts. It pees on you and you get warts. So you got to eat it, or else it'll pee on you, and then you get warts. But like in a, what's the word? It's escaping me right now. Like, not for real, but like in a business sense, in a lack of achievement sense, in a not feeling good about yourself because you didn't get things done sense. All right, that's the peeing on you and getting warts when it comes to the frog. All right, so what are the consequences for not eating the frog? And as we've done previously, there is an exercise, and that exercise after chapter 4 said that it wanted for the reader to look at the list, because remember, making lists is huge. Thinking about the list, pondering on the list is what is needed, because that's the only way you can come to the conclusion. It's the only way you can identify and attack those frogs and eat them up. So the task said, review your list of tasks and activities, but you have to continually ask yourself, which project or activity, if I did it in an excellent and timely fashion, would have the greatest impact in my life? So this whole thing's about pinpointing what's important and doing that, because people get lost in doing things that are unimportant. All right. So I wrote it down, and I figured the number one activity, remember, what we were trying to do is grow the podcast and eat the frogs that will help us grow the podcast. Jamin's Daily. Like and share YouTube and Facebook. And I figure, I'm thinking, and I'll tell you why, but the number one activity I've determined to do, and I think will have the greatest impact, is creating the YouTube shorts. I've only done 2. But the reason why I want to start putting more of those out more regularly and in quantity is I think it really is the best and most hopeful way of going viral. It only takes one. I mean, think about this. I have 200 videos. If I put out 200 shorts, it only takes one to go viral. And I'm not talking about millions. I'm just talking about maybe tens of thousands. But millions could be even great. If I was to go viral and get 1 million views on something, my subscriber would go from 100 to 10,000 overnight. That's how that works. So I really think the YouTube Shorts is the way to go, and that's what we're going to do. And whatever it is that can help the most, set it as a goal, make a plan to achieve it, and go to work on your plan immediately. So today, immediately, I'm going to do multiple shorts. In the coming days, I'm going to upload multiple shorts. You're going to see this. So just begin. And the mind grows heated. All right. When you get started on something, you're moving. It's friction. It's movement. There's like thermodynamics or something like that. Okay, folks? I don't know. I didn't pay attention much in science class. But I do know if I go like this, it gets hot. It's hot. It gets heated. It's because I'm doing something. So do something. Just begin, and the mind grows heated. Continue, and the task will be completed. All right, folks? I didn't make that up. I read it out of this book. But on to chapter 5. In chapter 5, it's time for some production here. Chapter 5 right here. Practice the ABCDE method continually. The first law of success is concentration, to bend all the energies to one point and to go directly to that point, looking neither to the right nor the left. That's a eloquent way of saying you gotta like be focused. Like, boom, tunnel vision on your goals. Tunnel vision on your goal. So it says the more thought you invest in planning and setting priorities before you begin, the more important things you will do, and the faster you will get them done once you get started. The more important and valuable the task is to you, the more motivated you are, and you're more motivated to overcome procrastination. Okay, so the ABCDE is a powerful priority setting technique. Okay, that will help you decide what you want to do. And so basically, again, it's just another way of just perfecting and creating a masterpiece out of your list. All right. And so now you have your list. It's almost like a map. You got to look at your list as a map, guiding you, telling you where you should go and do first, etc. And this ABCDE method helps you create the map. So the A are frogs. A is most important. A is above everything else, right? The ace, if you make A's, okay? So A, your A is the most important thing, and you can have A1. If you have multiple frogs that you got to eat, you have A1, A2, A3. You have to make priority. One has to come before the other, and you have to make decisions. That's the one thing about this, is that you got to decide what you're going to do. And that can be sometimes the biggest obstacle to overcome. It's just getting started and what to do first. Hopefully, if you read and practice some of these techniques and methods in this book, it'll help you. But anyways, moving along. A is the most important. A1, if there's multiple more frogs, A1, 2, 3. B, and again, A1, A is must do. You have to do it. B is something that you should do. Now, if you don't do it, if you don't do an A, you could get fired. Okay, it could be you could be done for. A B, if you don't do, there's some consequences maybe, but it's not the end of the world. But you don't want a bunch of B's to start accumulating, all right? So the B item is defined as something you should do. There could be mild consequences. You should never do a B before an A, and vice versa. You shouldn't do a C before a B. There's levels to the game. So you shouldn't feel good about knocking out these B tasks when you have an A that's just there, sitting there. Okay, that's part of it. It says it's in the book. The rule is that you should never do a B task when there is an A task left undone. All right, folks? And so on and so forth. So a C is something that it would be nice to do, but if you don't do it, doesn't necessarily mean that there's not much consequence to it at all. D is for delegation. So D is something that you can delegate to someone else. And you want to do, the rule on that is you want to put as many D's on things to delegate, because that gives you more time to concentrate on A, right? The frogs to eat. And finally, E. E is defined as something that you can eliminate altogether when you're making your list. And what happens is, normally this is something that's already on the list that you eliminate. So it may have been important in the past. It may have been something you needed to do, but then circumstances change and now you just eliminate it. Okay, folks, everybody has some of those on their list, things that you can just get rid of. All right. So with that being said, when you develop the habit of concentrating on your A1, the most important activity, on eating your frog, you will start getting more done. You'll get more done than multiple people, folks. All right. If you want to not lose your job to AI, you need to read this book and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Those two things. Maybe even follow me on Facebook. You want to have some better, learn some cool and effective ways to not lose your job to AI. I'm your man. Stay tuned to me, Jamin, your host of Jamin's Daily. Thanks for sticking with me. Remember that the best is yet to come, and don't forget to make your list and eat the frog. Until the next time, cheerio.